Yes, people, we are back. We are live on the channel for the pole position pod. We've got the sprint race preview. The sprint race qualifying just happened, and I'm telling you right now, there's been a lot of crazy results that just happened. So, guys, hit the like button if you're interested and you want to tune in. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. So I will be plugging in the description and in the chat. Liam, even though he has not uploaded any videos, he will upload some very soon. Ranveer, his channel will be in the chat and in the description of the video. Agustia is back. Big up to you, bro. Hope you're well, my guy. And let's get started, man. Hope everything's okay on your sides.
Yeah, I thank you for that, Ekavin. I appreciate it. Obviously, I've been a bit under the weather for the past week and a half, but this sprint qualifying was certainly exhilarating. I know, Ranveer, you were the only one that probably enjoyed it more than I did. It went the desirable way that you intended it for. But you know what? Sprint qualifying, if you had told someone that Max would finish behind his teammate on pure pace, Lando Norris would be in P3, and Oscar Piastri, among all the three title contenders, would top this sprint qualifying, somebody would have said, check you into the next Arkham Asylum, check you into a mental health hospital, because that is absurd. But that is exactly what just happened. So am I surprised that Oscar Piastri finished above his title contenders? No. And actually, Ranveer, you're an alibi for this. I said that Oscar Piastri was looking a lot quicker than Lando Norris this week in terms of confidence, in terms of comfortability with the circuit. And Qatar has been a track that Oscar Piastri has historically thrived. I think he's beaten Lando Norris in every single occasion they've ever faced at the Qatar GP. And a circuit like Qatar that is high speed, that is high grip, Oscar Piastri tends to be more successful at than, let's say, like a Mexico or a street circuit. So look, kudos to Oscar Piastri. It is nice to see him back in his groove. It is nice to see him back in his rhythm. And we have a very interesting sprint race set up.
Ranveer?
Utter crap. RB21. Utter crap. Lusail is a low downforce high speed circuit, and Red Bull got beaten by McLaren at their own game. The tracks that they succeed on this year, Monza and Qatar, and they've just been beaten at their own game with low downforce, skinny wing, high speed setup. They've just been beaten. Sonoda beat Verstappen at the end. The car is a dog, and it doesn't help that Verstappen's complaining to Lambiasi. Lambiasi's trying to say to him, look, this is what you can do to stop the car bouncing. He said, okay, mate, let me finish. You know what you should finish? You should finish your lap. Don't abort it. Don't go off track. Finish your lap. Yeah, how's that? How about that, huh? How about that? How about give yourself a shot at pole position? But oh no, let's complain. Let's go off the circuit. Let's kick up some dust on the track. Not good enough. I'm not very happy at all. I thought he was omniscient and omnipresent. I thought he could get that car to pole because it looked quick. Alonso finished SQ1 in first place in SQ1. And then Verstappen, he was, mate, I'm struggling to find the words to say what I want to say, man, because Piastri on pole position, Russell looked like he was going to take it there at the end, and then Piastri takes it. Verstappen said Piastri should tell McLaren to F off, and that's what he's doing. Yo, I don't know if you saw the TV crew panned to McLaren's garage after Piastri got the pole position, and they all looked startled. They looked so disappointed because their golden child, the British boy, he did not get a pole position.
Liam?
Well, what I'm gonna say
Welcome back,
is
bro.
that I was very surprised with McLaren's performance, but one thing is that the fact that Max got P6 and that McLaren is ahead of, or that we're ahead of Max Verstappen makes me very happy, but I wasn't expecting Oscar to be on P1. In my opinion, I'm just gonna say that McLaren have been favoring Lando Norris this whole season. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not really sure. Just for thoughts.
Big up you. I don't want to read. I don't want to read it. Okay, talk. Don't want to fucking read the rest of your fucking comment, but whatever. Big up to you, bro.
Hey, Ekavin, did you hear what Liam said?
I don't know what he said. I'll be honest with you.
No, he said something that.
You said absolute waffle. No, I'm kidding. It's gone.
No, I don't think it was waffle. I think it was pancake, man, because he said that McLaren had been favoring Lando Norris all season.
Said obvious though.
So I'm not sure that's the case.
You'll see.
Well, listen, I did mention about this past week. I mentioned this past season that a certain somebody or a certain group was favoring one driver over another, and one driver was being thrown under the bus. Boy, do I know. I mean, I've got my conspiracy theories ready right there. But we'll get to that in just a bit. Hit the like button, people. Subscribe. Let's get to 520. We're 8 subs away. 15 likes on the video if you can, people. And subscribe to Run Beer, Talks Racing. If you can mention your channel in the.
It's still broken.
I'll put the link in the chat regardless. And Liam's channel is in the description of the video. So guys,
big up Joshua and big up you.
Yep, be around in the chat. But
Big up.
the big news is Oscar Piastri getting pole for the sprints. I mean, he's finally back on pole after God knows how long. He needed this, and McLaren needed this because last week we all knew it. We all heard of the breaking news. McLaren got their their double disqualification. You know what I'm trying to say?
Possibly.
Got the double disqualification and everything like that. So Oscar Piastri, like I think you mentioned last week, this could still be in Oscar Piastri's hands, but then again, mentally he's not there. But today he showed that he could still maybe, nick that championship. What are you saying?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And it's as we said last week, this is a penalty shootout, right? It's like extra time in football. No matter what happened in the context of the match, right? The 90 minutes. You could have been under pressure for the entirety of the 90 minutes. They could have had the bulk of the ball. They could have had the bulk of the chances. And you could have nicked a very lucky goal against the run of play to take the match into extra time. That's exactly what's happened, right? Oscar Piastri was on top for most of the season. Then he completely folded. He completely capitulated. It was a choke job that even Tottenham would dare to dream. And it was one of the biggest choke jobs in the history of motorsport, perhaps the history of sport.
Are you talking about Tottenham's motto to dare to dream?
That is insane ball knowledge, Akavin. I'm so glad somebody got that. If Josh is in the chat, I hope he's proud of that as well. But hey, that was smooth. That was Carlos Sainz smooth, Akavin.
Smooth operator.
Hell yeah. But yeah, Oscar Piastri lost 106 points within a matter of over a handful of Prix to Max Verstappen, which is just unprecedented and unparalleled. But it doesn't matter because you don't focus on what was, you focus on what is. You can't control the past. All you can do from the past is learn from the past instead of lament yourself over it. So the best opportunity for Oscar Piastri and his inner circle, as we saw after McLaren got their DQ in Vegas, you saw their facial expressions. Oscar Piastri and Mark Webber and his father, they were all reveling in it. They were all masking in it, right? They were like, okay, the tide is slightly turning. Lando's momentum is being disrupted. Sure, Max won the race. Yeah, who cares? Yada, yada, yada. We have 2 races to win the championship, Qatar and Abu Dhabi. We have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And that's exactly how you have to embody it. Because deep down, peak Oscar Piastri, he can win both of those races, right? He's shown he's done it before, Ekevin, right? He can win races. So you just got to play your own game and you got to aim to win. And Oscar Piastri is kind of doing the AN Sports mindset in a way of, if you saw him after the Qatar sprint qualifying, he looked quite calm. He looked vintage Oscar Piastri, dare I say. So look, we'll see what happens. But again, me personally, my own suspicion is it's encouraging to see the return of Oscar Piastri, but it does also feel like a little bit has to do with the track. And the track is heavily in his favor. And if you looked at Lando Norris's lap, he wasn't able to get a clean final flying lap because he was behind Alex Albon. He was in Alex Albon's dirty air. And even starting his lap, he was in second gear. So Lando Norris's flying lap didn't really count. And Max Verstappen, God knows what was happening. He was on the Mercedes car of the insane porpoising, the Mercedes car with Lewis Hamilton from a couple of years ago. So good lap for Oscar Piastri nonetheless, but it does also seem circumstantial.
Liam, do you want to add to that?
Augusti is right. I agree with what he's saying, that this is one of those tracks that suit McLaren's car in terms of aerodynamic setup and the way that the car is built basically for a Qatar track like this. But one thing I would want to know, or if any of you guys can answer, is what happened with Max Verstappen and why did he get P6? Was it due to the performance of the car, or was it just due to the fact that he couldn't drive at a better position?
Pressure building?
Probably pressure building from McLaren, but there had to be something else that why he couldn't perform better.
Verstappen?
Yeah,
Hydraulics?
Verstappen, yeah.
Is it the hydraulics?
No, because two reasons in specific. One, the pace deficit to McLaren, but two, the porpoising. The porpoising on that Red Bull car, the balance was completely bereft of what Max Verstappen wanted. So I think, Renvier, would you agree with that? Those two reasons? The porpoising was just like...
Yeah, the porpoise in the car just bounced all over the place. I don't think he felt comfortable. So when he overdrove it per se, he went off track and then he had to abort his lap, and then that's why he was not able to put another extra lap on the board, because he had to abort it. And Akevin, did you say that the pressure is building from a McLaren point of view on top of Verstappen? That McLaren's pressure is building on
Maybe
Verstappen's shoulders?
maybe not just the pressure, but I think the hydraulics is starting to I think the hydraulics as well. Maybe a hydraulics issue this week. I don't know why.
Like the hydraulics in the car or in his brain?
Hydraulics in this league.
The what?
Verstappen is a mentality monster. It's the pressure that's getting to the Red Bull that they deliver. The engineers.
You're diagnosing issues now that the Red Bull mechanics can't. Okay. Kevin, mate, go on LinkedIn, apply for that job.
Why?
Because you just diagnosed the issue.
I'm just guessing, bro. I don't know.
No.
No, because if you look, Liam, I'd disagree. Because if you look on paper, I'd say that the RB21 is the most suited, most potent car. It should be the most potent car on the Losail circuit because it's got the most high-speed corners of any circuit on the track. It's a motorcycle racing circuit. MotoGP have been racing there since 2004, and McLaren, in my head, weren't in the equation for gunning for pole position yesterday, and I just think they got the car set up totally wrong. I think they ran the car too low. I think they did McLaren last week. If you saw on the main straight, that McLaren, the Red Bull is sparking so much on the main straight, and that's just a car that's running too low. The driver ain't comfortable, and Maximilian Verstappen is uncomfortable to push a car to the limit to try and get into the pole, because when he pushed it to the limit, it just went off track and it just kept bouncing around. Of course, there is merit to him complaining, but you don't want to see that in the World Championship fight. And they've given him a piece of crap car in a World Championship fight. And obviously, he said himself that it's down to other people's failures that he's even in the conversation, that other people have not maximized their full potential, and that's why he's there. But of course, when you're in the World Championship title fight, you want to give your driver, your best driver, the best car, the best possible opportunity to try and win it, even if it means taking straight line speed out or something. Even if you get fourth place instead of sixth because you run a car better, then it's much better setup, isn't it?
The one thing I do have is that maybe is not just on Max Verstappen. I just think if we're looking at it from the standpoint, right? You're right about the McLaren pace. I think the McLaren pace is a bit too much for this weekend. But then again, it's the sprints. We don't know what's going to happen for sure in the actual race itself. The sprint race could be, sure, maybe McLaren will take the sprint race. But the race will be different. The race will determine who is really the faster car this weekend, because the sprint doesn't determine the whole thing. It's one part of it. It's literally just half an hour of racing compared to hours, a couple of hours, laps and laps and laps of racing compared to what is just timed racing. You know what I'm trying to say? We can't say for sure who really has the faster car. Sure, Piastri might have had a faster time, and that's right, and that's fair. Like, at the end of the day, we're just talking about fastest lap. People are forgetting this is fastest lap. The actual race is not the actual race is the real result. I don't think McLaren will have what it takes on the actual race, in my opinion. If we're just talking the fastest lap, sure. If we're talking just fastest lap in qualifying, I hear it. They do. But in the race is where things mentally kick in. And I don't
Yeah,
think
but not much changes going from sprint qualifying guys to actual qualifying guys. Obviously, in the race, they'll maybe run a different setup or change the wing or the aero. But sprint qualifying guys gives you a good idea of the qualifying guys, and not much can change. You can't change much. Obviously, you can get like data from the sprint race and see what's optimal, what your AI computer tells you to, what the weather forecast, the wind tells you to. But not much changes because you can't physically change that much. And I think this gives you a good idea of going into actual qualifying, what the mojo in the teams is, because Red Bull, what car have they given him? What car have they given him? So the serious questions need to be asked. What car have they given Maximilian Verstappen? Because these are 2 weekends where he needs to maximize everything. He needs to everything in his control. He needs to live up to the full potential of it. That means sprint race qualifying pole, sprint race victory, race qualifying pole in Qatar, Qatar Lusail race victory, Abu Dhabi qualifying pole, Abu Dhabi race victory, and whatever is in his hands, he needs to maximize it, and that's not what he's doing, bro. What sort of car have they given him? Laurel Mekis, he needs to be asking engineers, bruv, what are you doing, fam?
I like
what are you doing?
I like the way you said maximize for Max Verstappen. No, it just makes total sense, though. No, you're right.
But you know what he said in an interview? He said the interviewer asked him what would change if you're a 5-time world champion compared to 4-time world champion. A lot would change. You'd be alongside Juan Manuel Fangio instead of being alongside Alain Prost and Sebastian Vettel as a 4-time world champion. A lot would change. And yeah, a lot would change because you'd be on the second most Formula One world champion drivers' championship titles of all time, rather than in third place. It would change a lot. It would change a lot because you'd win 5 in a row, equaling Michael Schumacher. He's the only man to win 5 in a row, and you'd be up there even more with your name in lights. Like, a lot would change. I don't know why he's trying to downplay it. Maybe the pressure is getting to him because he's making mistakes. Like in Interlagos, he made mistakes. In Mexico City, okay, he got away with it. He got bailed out with his WRC rendition on the race start. But questions need to be asked, man. Red Bull, what are you doing? Have you sent off your best engineers to try and win the World Rally Championship for Elfyn Evans or Sebastian Ogier? Is that what you're doing? Question needs to be asked, man. WRC is more entertaining at this point, man. More goes on, man. Because when you're driver ain't winning, you got to change sports. You know what I mean? If my driver ain't winning, if Sebastian Ogier doesn't win the World Rally Championship this year, tomorrow, I'm going to start watching Tour de France again. I'm going to start watching that again.
Brother,
man cycle around the Champs-Elysees, man.
I don't want to do that. I feel like
people subscribe to King.
I don't know about you guys in the chat. I don't know about Ekevin and Liam. I don't know if I want to be on this show. I just want to let Renvier talk. Because that passion right there, man, I could just get popcorn and listen to that all day. That was a very good one.
Thank you.
You should clip that.
I'm not Cameron Cece. I don't do that sort of level of Krispy Kreme, but I do my own stuff.
Krispy Kreme than Dunkin' Donuts, so it's the creme de la crop, right? You were Ted Kravitz and Martin Brundle combined. And Simon Lacy. But no, real quick, Boss of the Blue, I love your question. It's who deserves to win the title. Kevin, can I answer? And then
Orlando.
Wait, sorry, what?
I think Lando Norris deserves it.
Okay, who deserves it versus who earns it is a different conversation. In terms of who deserves it in terms of who has had the best driver performance across the season. I think 3 drivers stand out in particular. It was Max, obviously, by far. He has outperformed that car more than anyone has outperformed their machinery. Yes, you are correct, and Max is correct. The only reason he's in this fight is because of other teams' mistakes. but that's also because when he's had the fastest car, he's maximized his output. When he's not had the fastest car, he's minimized his damage, and he's also transcended the pace of the car. Look at Imola, look at Suzuka, for example. There have been so many races where Max isn't considered or supposed to be there, yet when he's given a car that can compete, he can win. So I think Max for sure, Max number one, and then I'd say George and Charles because they have spearheaded their teams, and then Lando. Those four. But of course, who deserves it versus who earns it is a completely different conversation. And I think Lando Norris has earned the right to win this title just because of what he did in Mexico and Brazil.
That's a really good answer. Liam?
Well, what I think who should win, who's been deserving the title, I would say it belongs to Lando, but who would earn it, I would probably say Oscar Piastri. But who really deserves it out of all, I would say Lando, because Lando really has outdone himself this season.
I just think the way Piastri collapsed in the second half of the season, obviously aside from what he did today in the qualifying, his collapse it needs to be studied for real. His collapse needs to be studied for real, because how can you be on such a high and just be winning race after race after race, and then just rumbling after being 100 points ahead of Max Verstappen, and now potentially falling behind him in what could possibly be his obviously the last two races of the season, but in terms of overall, like the mentality, like I said, the mentality of Oscar Piastri, the downfall needs to be studied. The way they followed, the way he's fallen, the way McLaren have allowed him to fall, the way he has, crumble and crack under the pressure, and the way he's bottled it to his teammate, and not going to the podium to celebrate with his team for the Constructors' Championship, all that needs to be studied. And if Drive to Survive 2025 is coming up very soon, we need to watch this part especially. We need to keep tabs on this particular part. But that's the question for another. That's we can answer that again next week, because next week is the pinnacle. It's the last race. But Renveer, quickly.
Deserving Maximilian Verstappen. Oscar Jack Piastri, you're not in the equation, because it was 40 points, wasn't it? Was it 40 points, wasn't it? His lead over Norris.
And he was also 100 points above Max as well, I think.
Charles Leclerc giving up a 46-point lead after Melbourne in 2022. That's forgivable because of his car issues, strategy issues. But Oscar Jack Piastri, this 40-point lead, it was on your head. It was on your head. First race back after summer break, you win it, and your teammate, your title rival, he gets a DNF. He loses his 18 points. You don't have a 7-point advantage on that race. You get the full 25-point swing. It is your fault. It's 100% your fault. And I think I said this a couple episodes back, maybe might have been Monza, or when we had a debate at Baku. I said he's looked at his manager Mark Webber, and he's seen he couldn't win the Formula 1 World Drivers' Championship. He had four races to go. He was in the lead with the World Championship, and he lost it. So he thought, one of Australia's finest motorsport drivers, racing Le Mans with Porsche, finished the 2015 24 Hours of Le Mans in second place with Porsche. He thought one of the most decorated, most finest, prestigious Australian motorsport drivers of all time. He couldn't win the Formula 1 World Driver Championship, so why should I deserve to? Why should I deserve to? Why should I deserve to lift that crown? Why should I become the third after Jack Brabham and Alan Jones? Why should I? And I think it's just a mentality problem. He realised the magnitude of what was on his shoulders. Only 34 men have won this in history. I think the pressure just got to him, and he just wilted. He was wilted under the pressure. He wasn't strong enough to withstand the pressure, and he's just an Arsenal in 2022, 2023. Sports Arsenal, of course, and he's just gone into an Arsenal.
Fair enough.
Touche, man. I agree.
Fair enough. But we'll step away from the sprint race a little bit. I do have another topic to discuss real quick before we move on to the last, before we go to predictions for the sprint race and just last thoughts on the sprints.
Adrian
Newey and Aston Martin.
What the fuck was that tone of voice? Sorry, I don't mean to swear again. The way Liam said Adrian was just
Adrian. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Adrian Newey and Aston Martin have agreed a deal on him becoming team principal.
They made the right choice.
Sorry?
They made the right choice because since he's going to be designing the car, they made. I'm all I'm going to say is they made the right choice. Honestly, they made the right choice. But we'll see how that pans out.
This could lure a lot of the top drivers to Aston Martin as well. Obviously, with Max Verstappen potentially with linked with the move away to another new team.
Charles Leclerc might go to Aston Martin.
Possibly on his way out of Ferrari in 2027.
Yeah.
Could they be partnering at Aston Martin with Adrian Newey at the helm? Hey, listen, that would be a really good duo to watch and a really good team to potentially compete for the championship. But Augustia, obviously, you and I have discussed this on chat this week, as we do a lot of things on chat. You know what I mean?
What don't we discuss on chat?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Adrian Newey and Aston Martin have agreed a deal. I want to know your thoughts on this, and then just give your opinion.
Yeah, I spoke to you about this. I spoke to Renvir about this. I don't know. I think it's a mixed bag in a sense. Adrian Newey, of course, is the most accomplished, the most renowned, and the most remarkable, probably person, F1 staff ever, right? He's won the most championships in F1 history. He is the brain. He is the brainiac. He's the definition of a mind in F1. He's the golden goose. And if you have Adrian Newey, likely it is your ticket to winning a championship. That's a good question. We don't have the Giant yet. The Giant will be coming very soon. But I think it is a good appointment, only under one condition: if Adrian Newey can still oversee the technical side of things.
Big up, bro.
Big up Tifosi, legend. But yeah, I think it is a good appointment if Adrian Newey can still oversee the technical side of things. That's the most important point. And to my understanding, and as I heard Adrian Newey speaking to Tad Kravitz, as I read the official statement and the press conference with Lawrence Stroll, I do believe he will still oversee the technical side of things. His role does not change. It is just that his responsibilities have been increased rather than decreased. So, we have to do some PR work, Tifosi.
Sorry for my profanity, but Tifosi, fuck off.
Oh,
This guy, bro. It was one DSQ, bro. One DSQ
that could have possibly cost
one
the season, by the way. That could cost your entire season.
Abu Dhabi, just watch. I'm gonna say Tifosi, watch Abu Dhabi. We're gonna win it all. Watch.
DSQ, bro. That could cost your entire season, bro.
We already have constructors, so I'm happy with
Well,
that.
if Red Bull give Max the machinery, it will cost him.
Bro, after two McLaren drivers that led the race the whole led the championship fight the whole way, and imagine you're bottling into a Red Bull car who's not doing shit this season.
But it's not just that, Kevin. It's not just that they've led the whole way. There have been more races than not where they have led the entire grid by
Do
30 seconds. you remember Silverstone?
How many races by
maybe not 30 seconds, but a pit stop. Right, even Silverstone, it was just the McLarens fighting, and then the pit stop.
Them two, and the rest of the group were fucking miles away. It was them two, and then like clear the rest. And then now it's just like them two are just right next to the rest.
Yeah, they were miles away. Like there was a bridge between them and everyone else.
Yep.
So, actually, you didn't get the NBA joke, no? Okay.
Oh, Miles Bridges. Okay, never mind.
But But yeah, so to go back to the Adrian Newey point, what do I make of the appointment? I know Renvir, you haven't spoken on this yet on the show.
Yeah.
But I know you obviously have your views on them, and I know they're not favorable. I will just say, as long as he can maintain his responsibilities technically, I have no issue with it, and I do believe that he has the leadership to command the team. Because essentially he is the brain behind the team. He just also needs to be the muscles as well. And the team principal at Aston Martin with Fernando Alonso, they're too experienced. I don't think it'll be a problem. So do I think a Christian Horner would have been better than him? Absolutely. I think having that personality, having someone that can basically command the situation, not just on a racing level, but a shareholder level. I think. Sorry.
I say elevate the standards as well.
100 case in point. Yes, Ackerman, that is the exact point. Because if anyone is gonna put the finger to power, it's Christian Horner, right? He's your Jose Mourinho type of figure, and I don't think Adrian Newey.
I think put Guardiola.
Sure, but I just mean personality-wise, right? There are certain people. I'm not saying right or wrong. Certain people like Jose Mourinho, Donald Trump, for example, they are disruptors, right? They disrupt people, they disrupt power structures. So having a Christian Horner with a Lawrence Stroll, for example, might have been better for Aston Martin, right? Because you would have increased the standards, but also at the same time, you would have allowed Adrian Newey to do what he does on a technical level. And on top of that, you would manage to maximize commercial and competitiveness, right? Because with Christian Horner, I would be confident in saying that Lance Stroll would not have a seat in Aston Martin. I don't think he would take the seat if he was sabotage. Whereas with Adrian Newey, we'll see. It's unknown, uncharted territory for him. So, is having multiple different roles and taking interviews, is it going to have a toll on him? I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't think it's a problem as long as he can maintain the tech side of things.
Yeah, as I said to you, Gussie, on Instagram DMs, I said to you that he's just keeping the seat warm for Christian Horner, and that's nothing more. And you don't see, there's nothing more to be said there because he's got gardening leave. So Christian Horner, when he got fired from Red Bull in July 2025, July this year, he can't legally work for another Formula One team until April 2026. So I think that I expect the announcement to be made April or May 2026, where Christian Horner is a new Aston Martin Aramco Formula One team principal, and he's just keeping the seat warm for Christian Horner because Adrian Newey. Because there was a high performance podcast made in 2021, and Christian Horner says that Adrian Newey, he's not good at managing people, and he shouldn't be in that role as the business leader where he has to talk to sponsors. He has to also do his own role of designing the car and making sure that the car's up to scratch in every single weekend. So he said that it's best suited for another person to be in that role, and he instead is just designing the car and fabricating the car. And obviously, I've said my own views about Adrian Newey, about the conspiracy theories, stuff like that. But Lawrence Stroll is now employing him. He's in a partnership with Fernando Alonso because Lance Stroll, what does he know about cars? He barely won the European Formula 3 Championship because his dad gave him the best car. So Fernando Alonso Diaz and Adrian Newey, there's a lot of brain knowledge, there's a lot of brain cells, a lot of knowledge, there's a lot of experience there about different Formula One machinery, different engines, different power units, different fuel suppliers, different tyre suppliers, and different regulation cycles. And I think that's going to be the very good partnership going forward to maximise what they're going to get out of this Aston Martin team. With the new facilities, the best-in-class wind tunnel that costs 50 million quid, 400 million pound factory, and yeah, I think it's good going forward from a performance and professional point of view. But he won't stay in that role long. His role is called a managing technical partner, and Christian Horner is going to come in May or April 2026.
Yeah, and real quick, I was on a bit of a rabbit hole about what you were saying earlier. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I did not realize Christian Horner's gardening leave ends in April. And I think even in the interviews I've heard of Adrian Newey, it doesn't seem like he's fixated on taking that role for the long term. It seems like a short-term thing, while Aston Martin go through a little bit of a hierarchical adjustment, because obviously Andy Cowell, where is he going? He's the chief strategy officer, right? He's managing the core of Aramco, Honda, and Aston Martin, the brands basically aligning together, right? And someone like Andy Cowell, you need his experience and expertise to do that. So then Adrian Newey, of course, will slot in temporarily, and he can do it, right? He has the chemistry, he has the command, he has the respect of everyone else. But it does make sense in the long term not to congest his roles, right? Because the most important thing for someone dealing with the car and the technical side is time, right? You want the time to be able to psychoanalyze the data. right? Because the more time you have to understanding your competitors and understanding yourself, the bigger advantage you will have, right? It's like everyone, Ekevin, every high-level athlete across sport, whether it's Federer, Djokovic, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, whoever it is, they all watch film, right? Basketball players talk about this all the time, right? One of the biggest differences is not the ability, because all the players, right, all of them can hoop, all of them can ball, all of them can play tennis, but the difference is the mentality and also the ability to read the room, right? Watch your opponents, know what your opponents are doing before they make a move, right? So coming back to Adrian Newey, him taking the team principal role, that would obviously hurt the time he has to analyze his team and the rest of the grid. So Ranveer, what you're saying makes sense as well. So and of course, the fact that Adrian Newey is a shareholder in Aston Martin, the team, and he has a stake in the team, I don't believe he would have bought the team if they weren't fully ambitious and committed to winning. So I do think Lance Stroll will be replaced, probably a reserve driver, and they will probably get a Fernando and somebody else, and then Max and Leclerc will be the aim.
Yeah, I agree. I think Max
and
will be that's the two that they're gonna go for.
and don't forget, this role also gives them the role of the CEO of Aston Martin's Formula One team, and before Christian Horner was the CEO of Red Bull Racing, he knows how to deal with sponsors, he knows how to curate the brand image, and he knows how to win championships. So I think if you want someone, you've got the first piece of the puzzle, Adrian Newey. You're lucky to have had world champions in the past, like Sebastian Vettel and Fernando Alonso. They've been employed under your wing, and now you go out and get the other person being Christian Horner, and then you build the Avengers, you build the money team, and you build a team that you want to win even more world championships. But under Adrian Newey's wing, he's won something crazy like 34% of all races in Formula One history. He's won 13 Drivers' World Championships and 12 Constructors' World Championships. He's worked at teams like McLaren, Williams, most recently Red Bull, and now Aston Martin. And Ferrari were looking at him as well, and he just thought, the money's too good, so I'm going to join Aston Martin.
But also, can I add real quick, not just the money, it's also the authority. Ferrari would not give one person the sole authority, right? Ferrari, because there's
Christian Horner.
Yeah, I think Christian Horner would be restricted if he went to Ferrari. I don't think his role would be as a dictator. When I say dictator, I just mean dictating the entire scene. Look at Lewis Hamilton. I mean, Lewis Hamilton literally has no say in Ferrari here. He's telling the engineers what to do.
He has been beefing certain man behind the scenes, so listen.
His engineer is just pissing. His engineer, Lewis Hamilton's engineer, is just pissing me off, honestly.
Yeah,
it's just like like the kind of like the energy that he had with Bono when he was at Mercedes. It's just not there with him and his engineer at Ferrari. The spark is just not there. They're not like connecting on the same level. But I think he just still needs time to adjust to the Italian team's culture. So I don't really think that it's.
But unfortunately, Ekevin, Real Madrid very well. Real Madrid, Boston Celtics, Ferrari. Time is not on your side. You don't have time. The
Celtics are well run, so let's leave the Celtics out of this.
Okay, yeah, good point. But Real Madrid and Ferrari, you don't have time. If you are not performing well, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter what you've done before. It's what you will do for the brand and the team. And Lewis Hamilton, look, I respect the guy. Ekevin, you know how much I rate the guy. And you know how much I have supported the guy through his troubles. But next season, early on, if he doesn't pick up the pace and he doesn't regain his rhythm, even if he's being scapegoated, even if the team are sabotaging him, he's gone. He will go. They will replace him for Ollie Behrman. They will replace him for somebody else, even Lando Norris maybe. So just be careful.
Fair enough. Shall we get to predictions real quick? Sprint race.
Sure.
Are you going to add any more?
No, not really. There was one thing I wanted to say about Max.
Go on, please. Say it.
I do think that Red Bull, Ekevin, you asked me a question on chat. Can Max win the race this weekend, right? And I think that with Yuki Tsunoda, what was he? Was he 2/10 behind the McLarens?
I don't remember the time.
I think he was around 2/10, right? Yuki, something like that. And if Yuki can be 2/10 behind the McLarens, have a bit of issues with the car as well. The max tax, I'm gonna call it the tax with Max. He's always gonna find 2/10 off from nothing. He will create something, right? So if you factor in after the sprint race, yeah, that's a good point, Tifosi. But after the sprint race,
Yeah, I can't fathom how people call Leclerc a bum, but whatever it is. Sorry, go on.
4.5 tenths. That's an order was off Piastri.
It's a lot bigger than expected. But you know what? When you consider the max tax, Max can probably add 2/10 inherently on his own. And then if the car is comfortable, he also has a normal advantage to Yuki Tsunoda anyways. Max can 100% mount the gap just because after the sprint race, the teams are allowed to obviously make setup changes, make changes to the car. They can come back to Park Ferme. And Max is already talking about how to fix the balance because the reason there was such a big disconnect between what Red Bull thought they would do versus what Red Bull did is because they made some uncharacteristic tweaks before qualifying. That's what Max said in his interview. So can Max win the race? It'll be difficult, but he will have a car that is definitely more competitive. The one problem is, as all the drivers are saying, this is a track where there's really no overtaking. You can only probably overtake in the main straight or turn 6, but overtaking is such a scarcity that it really is your qualifying position that's important.
100%.
No, are you hearing this thing? Are you hearing this? They're making uncharacteristic tweaks to a car where you have to maximize everything to win the World Championship. Are you? That's like Pep Guardiola playing Kevin De Bruyne as a number 9 in the Champions League final in 2021. You don't do things at this stage in the season.
I agree.
In the competition, when the competition's so high, elite competition, you're making these mistakes. And you got Sebastian Buemi. He's working so much. He's doing over 12 hours a day on the simulator. What is there for show for it? He's won the Le Mans 24 hours 4 times. He's won the World Endurance Championship twice. He's won the Formula E World Championship. And he's slaving away on the computer in Milton Keynes at the factory. And the Red Bull mechanics aren't listening to him. They're doing an uncharacteristic tweaks. It's not even funny. You can't even say that with a straight face. You want to give your man the best opportunity you can. And the car's ailing.
Anyways, I think we'll get to predictions now.
Have we talked about Hamilton's exit in SQ1?
Don't want to talk about that. It's a waste of my
Let's
time.
not talk about that.
A huge waste of my time. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
we just spent time talking about Hamilton. So
it's a huge waste of my time. I don't want to talk about Ferrari because certain man in the chat will be like, "Oh, you're still ranting about Ferrari." Well, rant about them every single week.
Bro, it's your channel. You can do what you want. Really,
it's all right. It's all right, man. Ferrari is shit. Yeah, the people there are shit. The engineers are shit. Yeah, time to replace Fred Vasseur. Time to bring in Christian Horner. Yeah, and time to start fucking winning again. That's all I have to say. Huge waste of my time watching this crap every single week, throwing away a season just because of fucking regulations, mate. Yeah,
Become a McLaren fan. It's still not.
Big
Really,
up to 0-5.
I could never, Liam. I could never.
Big up African King Academy. Leclerc will get replaced. The bomb.
Leave.
No, because Leclerc, he's not the driver to lead Ferrari forward.
Leclerc's not going to leave. It's going to be Hamilton.
He was the driver to lead Ferrari to a championship, but the problem is the engineers let him down. So it's all
but sometimes you say 2022 was his fault. Sometimes you say it's his engineer's fault. So I think you need to pick a side of the fence. Whose fault it was, who the blame should be placed upon.
No, I think if you ask me in this current situation, Ferrari need a Christian Horner at a team principal level, and as a driver, they need someone of Michael Schumacher's status but can speak Italian. You know what Sebastian Vettel said this past week? I think on the podcast we did with Formula One, he said that this is like Sebastian Vettel said this. He gave Lewis Hamilton one piece of advice telling
me that Fred Vasseur is the man, but.
But guys, Sebastian Vettel gave Lewis Hamilton one piece of advice before he joined Ferrari. Do you guys know what that is?
Why did you never join Ferrari? No, I'm kidding.
Ferrari's a graveyard.
Nah, Ekman, did you hear that?
Why'd you join Ferrari?
Good question. No, but the piece of advice that Sebastian Vettel gave to Lewis Hamilton was learn Italian. Speak Italian very quickly, because if you don't understand Italian, you will be put out of your depth.
Or
Such
pair of brains and bring us some English-speaking duds in the fucking Ferrari team.
No, but the language should never be the barrier. The language should never be the issue.
Just change the engineer. Change.
No,
the
I don't think yeah, you're right. The language is not the issue. It's not the reason they're.
Must be the
It's
the car.
Give me a break.
Must be the
no, it's not the reason Hamilton's not performing, but the problem is
face, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking slap man on the face, bro.
I think Vettel knew Ferrari knew Italian before he even joined Ferrari.
But Vettel said to know it really, really well. His point more is Ferrari will talk behind your back, and their system over there, because they are so strict and with their system, they communicate in Italian, and also they talk about nuts and bolts in Italian. They will demean you, they will defame you in Italian as well, and chemistry and cohesion will be disrupted. So my point is, if you want to have a grip and command over strategy, if you want to have a command over the team personally and professionally, you need to know Italian. You need to basically be Gattuso. That's what you need to be. You need to be like Christian Horner in terms of personality, and you need to be in terms of Michael Schumacher in terms of technically. And for Lewis Hamilton to go into a team, a whole new setup, where, like Liam, you made the point about his engineer. Him and his engineer have zero chemistry. They do not get along at all. Lewis Hamilton has said more times than not, shut up.
How is it all his fault, by the way? How is it all Leclerc's fault? Explain to me how it's all Leclerc's fault. It's clearly not all of it his fault. Clearly not
2022?
No. Binotto was the problem. Binotto was the problem, bro.
Yo, King, you caught a big fish, man.
Yeah, but he knows Italian. He knows that Italian. Yeah, he should have overruled the strategies instead of he's speaking English to his engineer. So the whole thing of having to speak Italian to your engineers, it doesn't work because he had the championship winning car in 2022 and he just ultimately combusted. Like the engine. The engine combusts. The engine combusts to power it, and he combusted under the pressure of the 2022 Formula 1 World Drivers' Championship. That's why he will never be the world champion.
Oh, whether he combusted or not, that independent. Well, you guys are having two different conversations, but my point is, you're right. Of course, Leclerc needs to have more authority over his decisions. I agree with you, but the point is to succeed in this Ferrari system, the system that is so like confining and demoralizing. You need to be a bit of a dick and be Italian. Like that's what you need to be to succeed in this Ferrari system. And Lewis Hamilton, unfortunately, because of that language barrier, because he can't connect intimately with the staff and with the system, he will be disregarded and he will be outcast. He's not Italian as well, so it is going to be difficult for Lewis Hamilton. Look at how the relationship with him and John Elkann has completely collapse. So yeah, just a shame. But no, I do think Leclerc should move as well. Leclerc should do a Marcus Rashford. That's what Leclerc needs.
I think there should be four instances where you need to know Italian 100% proficiency. Drawing for Scuderia's Ferrari Formula 1 team, playing for Associazione Calcio Milan, playing for Inter Milan, or playing for Juventus.
Broski, I can't lie to you. The universal language is English. And if these men can't speak English, they better not fucking work here at Ferrari.
Yeah, so if Leclerc knows Italian so proficiently, if he knows how to speak Italian, why is he speaking English to the engineer? Leclerc
can speak Italian.
Exactly. So if the whole thing of overruling the engineers and going into decisions, if it should be spoken Italian, he would have already been doing it.
Yeah. No. On the Leclerc part, I agree. He does need to have balls of steel. I agree.
Ferrari don't fight to win. They think because they're Ferrari, they'll win. You don't see that aggression.
Exactly. You see with institutions all over the world, Manchester United. We started cycling a couple of years ago.
For years. We're still sacking managers now, still.
But
when people go up against that badge, they think they'll just lose before the whistle's even been blown, the first whistle.
I can say the same
That's-
for
They're just aura.
But-
Same for what?
Yeah, but I will say on the Leclerc debate real quick, King, I know you're doing your fishing and you got a big fish you caught, but I do think that
NASCAR. Mate, NASCAR drivers are better than
Yeah,
Charles Leclerc.
yeah.
You got Kyle Busch,
Right.
Dale Earnhardt Jr., Dale Gordon,
Right. Yes, bigger fish to
bruv,
fry.
Martin Tirex or Jr.,
Yes,
whatever.
But no, I was saying I do think if Leclerc is in a stable team and a team that is just functional and somewhat competent, he will win a championship. I think he can win a championship.
No,
He's
0%
shown-
chance. No.
No, I think he absolutely can. I mean,
0% chance.
in terms of both drivers, him or Hamilton, he's clearly the leader among both of them. And as second, we went over this in the last show. He was better than Vettel. Heck, Vettel said that being in the same team as Leclerc made him, in the interview this week, he said Leclerc basically made him realize he needs to retire. Like the pace deficit as well, and all those factors as well in terms of momentum. Leclerc was better than Vettel, and I know Ferrari sabotaged Vettel, but still, Leclerc was better than Sainz. Leclerc was also better than Hamilton. And if you give Leclerc a team that actually backs him, that's literally all. I'm not asking for $1 billion here. I'm not asking for a sugar daddy. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just saying.
Terrible than his own fuck.
Whoa.
You tell me I'm a fake Ferrari fan, but you're hating on your own drivers. I'm just saying.
That's why you don't support a team that's institutionally broken from the inside out. Because they're a Ferrari Formula 1 team.
Bro, everyone's a Ferrari fan. Literally.
Am I though? Am I?
Well, majority of people.
Maximilian Verstappen.
They started their Ferrari 499p hypercar program in 2023. They've won all 3 Le Mans 24 hours since then. I think you should start supporting the World Endurance Championship.
Nah, I'll go further than you. I think Leclerc is fantastic 4, man. I think he's one of the 4 best drivers on the entire grid.
I agree.
4 is crazy.
I agree.
I think the 4 best drivers on the grid actively are Max, obviously. Max, Leclerc, Russell, and Lando. Those are my 4.
First.
Nah, Alonso better.
Yeah, Alonso is the only one you can make a case for. And obviously Hamilton when he...
All time, sure. All time Alonso is up there, but Hamilton.
No, but if you give him and Leclerc the same car, I think Alonso beats him.
That would
Bro,
be a...
I know Alonso all time sure is better than Charles Leclerc. I agree with that.
No, but right now Alonso would beat him. No doubt in my mind.
And yeah, I think he'd be closer than we expect. I think Leclerc does have more raw pace, but I think Fernando Alonso's is just more robust as a driver. It'd be fun. It'd be fun.
This is actually crazy.
Bro, this guy's
Now this guy think he
bigger fish to fry. Bigger
this
fish
guy
to
think
fry.
we fall for the rage bait. Now we ain't falling for the rage bait, bro.
No.
But you did, because you said
I
you called
did.
me a fake fan. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I was
you
joking
did.
back to him. I was joking back to him.
No, that's not a joke. You fell for the rage bait.
I didn't fall for anything.
That wasn't a joke.
I was calling me a fake fan, so well.
He didn't fall
There's
for
no
the
Bond
rage
villain
bait.
tonight.
I don't hate on my own drivers,
He only fell in love with Ferrari, right?
bro. I used to hate Lewis Hamilton. Now he's racing for Ferrari. I love Lewis Hamilton.
You know, since I started watching F1 again, I haven't seen Verstappen lose the World Championship, because the first race I saw properly was 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, yeah. And I was invested in it attentively, yeah. And I saw the final lap. Lewis Hamilton used to be my favourite driver. I was like, you cheating son of a... And then I was just gutted, yeah, and I didn't watch it. I didn't realise that Maximilian Verstappen, there's a talent there that no one else, in my opinion, possesses in Formula 1 history. And that's what all the media, yeah, before I switched to the red side, yeah, not Ferrari, by the way, before I switched to the red team, yeah, the media made me hate Max Verstappen, because they always used to say he cheats, breaks the rules, bends the game in his favour. But when you look at it, he knows the rule book like the back of his hand. You can ask him Article 108.2.4 and he'll explain it to you, like how to utilise on the racetrack. So the media made me hate him, but then I started respecting him, because last year I wanted Leyland Norris to win the World Championship. So I was like, there's this villain here. His name is Maximilian Verstappen. He's winning every race. Someone needs to take him out. Someone needs to stop him from winning. And someone needs to beat him at his own game, which is breaking the rules. breaking the rules, obviously in quotation marks, because that's not what he does. He bends the rule book in his favour. I didn't realise that at the time. Look at African King Academy's comment.
This work rate, man. Impressive.
Has more talent in one arm than Leclerc. You can get Leclerc blindfolded.
He's doing more. He's commenting more than he's doing the watch along for the.
African King Academy, yeah. Basically, I'm on your team, yeah, but I need to say something to you. Yeah. If you had talent in one arm, yeah, you'd be able to spell backwards properly.
Jesus Christ.
Anyways, I think let's get to predictions real quick.
Predictions, boys. Predictions.
I'm gonna go with Oscar Piastri to win the. I think Lando will come second, and I think who finished third? George Russell. I'm gonna go George Russell, and then outsider probably Kimi Antonelli.
Wow, bold.
Wait, where did he finish again, Kimi Antonelli? Top.
No, I don't think.
No. I'll go Charles Leclerc outside.
Okay.
Next, Augustia.
I will have Oscar Piastri winning. Yeah, I think Oscar will win the sprint race. Lando, turn one. Can he do it? Doesn't seem too confident. You know what? I'll say Oscar 1, George 2, Lando 3. And then outsider, if anything, I'm just going to say Max because he might go backwards. That's how...
Hard to overtake, that's a problem.
I mean, Max might not even finish in the points. He's so disillusioned with his car, who knows? But at the same time, he'll go gung-ho here, right? He has everything to gain, so he'll just be a madman.
Sorry, can I change my outsider? Yes, Max Verstappen outsider. Sorry, please forgot about that. Max Verstappen outsider.
Yeah.
Liam?
PSV, what's that? What's PSV? Don't know what you're talking about.
You're like gonna do PSV setting. Oh shit. Oh, Renbeer. Oh.
No,
Anyways.
What's he talking about? What sport is that? The question.
Anyways, let's get to
Could you tell me? This is
Oscar Piastri, Lando, and Max Verstappen.
outsider.
Outsider, Leclerc, and Russell.
Pick one.
I'm gonna go for Leclerc. Why not?
Renbeer?
Rational me says that Russell takes the lead in turn one, so the finishing order is Russell in first place, Piastri in second place, and Norris in third place, yeah. But the version of me that wants violence on the racetrack, Alonso finishes first, and then Verstappen finishes second, and Antonelli finishes third, and you got Tsunoda as the outsider for the second scenario, and you got Alonso as an outsider on the first scenario. But this is what I want to see. I want to see a big collision this weekend. I want to see a collision. I want to see elbows out. I want to see Senna versus Prost in 1991 Suzuka, was it? And then 1989 Suzuka. And then I want to see Villeneuve on Schumacher and Jerez in 1997. I want to see an accident that people talk about for generations. You know what I mean? I'm the world champion. I want to see Norris and Piastri collide in a race. I want to see them collide. If both of them go on, who knows? But that means I will respect whoever does it. If Norris does it to Piastri, I will respect it if he wins the world championship. If Piastri does it to Norris, I'll respect it. He wins the world championship. If Verstappen does it to Norris, I'll respect it. He wins the world championship. If Verstappen does it to Piastri, I'll respect it if he wins the world championship. If Norris does it to Verstappen, I'll respect him for winning the world championship. Even if he won it on Max winning Verstappen's head, if he crashes Max Verstappen out of the race, I will respect him for the rest of my AN Sports career. Okay, I will respect him because that is what you do, man. You have to beat your competitor. You have to beat your competitor, even if you can't beat the competitor. Yeah, you hit the competitor. That's what you do in football. When you got a techie winger, pacey winger, 6'4", 100 kilos centre back goes into him. You know what I mean? That's what you have to do, man.
Let's just say that you want to see a McLaren double DNF.
Yes, of course. Who doesn't want to see that? And as the solitary McLaren fan has just left his image.
Anyways, good show, guys.
Nah, it's not good, man. I'm disappointed, man. I'm disappointed.
There was one more point I was just about to make. I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Oh yeah, message for the Red Bull mechanics, Red Bull engineers. I hope you're listening attentively. Okay, put this on 100 volume. Even if you're in a confined setting, you're going to be with the other guys, mechanics. Okay, you're going to be with them. Okay. Listen here, yeah. Sebastian Buemi has been slaving himself away here, and he has been trying to develop this car. And what are you doing? You're backtracking. You are backtracking, mate. You got Maximilian Verstappen, best car controller in history. He can't keep that car on track. And I was saying to him, what are you complaining for? But it's merited. And also, I don't want to hear him complaining because you're making him complain because your car isn't fit for purpose. Your car should be fit for purpose. When you look at every track in Canada, first track that's most optimized for this RB21, it's LaSalle. Second is Monza. Third is Qatar. And you got the track with the most high-speed sections. This is the car. This is a track you want after a double Las Vegas DNF. This is a track you want to race at. And what have you done? The car development has regressed. Laurent Mekies, he said, we're gonna push for upgrades. We're gonna try to upgrade the car as much as possible. But what's the point of throwing an upgrade if your car's gonna get even worse? Then you're just wasting developer time for next year. You're wasting tunnel time for next year. You're just making me annoyed, man. It annoyed me seeing that, man. Sport isn't going well, man. Liverpool Football Club, what are you doing? Red Bull Racing. I don't support you, yeah. I support one of your drivers, yeah. Sponsor me, Red Bull. Sponsor me. I'll put a bottle on my shelf permanently. Red Bull. Or I'll wear a Red Bull t-shirt, Red Bull do-rag. I'll wear a Red Bull face mask even. Like, sponsor me, Red Bull.
Time out. DM said. No, but as
breathe, Ranbir, breathe, man.
You gotta
breathe.
take a half to the team that you gotta take a half to the driver of the team that wins it at the end of the day. All three drivers are deserving winners at the end of the day.
Not Piastri.
One may not be as deserving as the others, but if you win it,
Piastri's not deserving. How can you bottle a 40-point gap like that?
That's what I said. One may not be as deserving as the others, but I'm trying to say that you got to take a head off to the driver that wins it at the end of the day.
And don't forget that 104-point gap since Zandvoort. He's equaled it. He's equaled that 104-point gap. He's made up 104 points on Oscar Piastri.
Fair enough. Any last comments, guys, before we close out?
I think you need to show the Tifosi comment again, Ekevin, to show that,
Kiss ass.
Let's go.
No.
So repeat that.
Stop rage baiting.
I didn't hear that.
Stop rage baiting.
The stream started lagging again. Bring back restream.
But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it here. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 520. We're 8 subs away from 520. Let's get 15 likes on the video. If you can, people. Subscribe to Liam's channel. The link is in the description of the video. Subscribe to Renvier Talks Racing. The link is in the chat. I pinned it there in the comments. Make sure you guys go and check out King's channel as well, who's been here. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel.
Mate, what happened to Hajar? Because he was getting purple sectors and he just fell off a cliff.
He finished in Q2, man. Didn't he? Or was it Q1 did he finish? Was it Q2? Q1, I don't remember. Q2, right?
He made a Q3, innit?
I don't remember.
He must have. He usually does.
No, Isaac Hajar didn't make it to Q.
I feel like he did. But big up for
Hulkenberg was doing purple sectors as well.
No, I swear I saw his name in the bottom 5 of the
No, I don't think I'll be able to fathom Leyland Kindernorris as a Formula 1 world champion. Because you know, this is a rant here. Because you know the people who always say new rookies that come to the grid that the world champion material. They just say that. Say that. They don't know anything. They don't have a clue about the sport yet. They've never looked at the history of the sport. They don't know the current drivers yet. And they say, oh, he's going to be a world champion one day. Or world champion material. Or give him the car. He won the world championship. Mate, they said about Bortoletto. They said about Hajar. They said about Antonelli. They said about Russell. They said about Leclerc. And now they've got the lucky break where Leyland Norris has been given the best car. He's been given a handout all year. Yeah. And he's been given a teammate who's bottled a 40-point lead.
Actually, Renvier, I disagree with you. You know, every Formula 1 world champion in history has been a rookie. So it's not a lucky.
But you know the people that say, oh, the new guy entering the sport, and they say he's going to be a world champion one day when they don't have a clue about the sport. They've got their lucky break now. They've got their lucky break. They've got their lucky tap in where their boy Leyland Norris. They didn't know it, bro. They didn't know he raced in the Toyota Racing Series in New Zealand. They didn't know he's a CIKFI World Karting Champion. They just look at him, Leyland Norris, 19 years old,
And if you've been like,
youngest British Formula driver in history. Yes, he's going to be a world champion one day. I'm just saying that I don't have a clue. I don't have a clue. That's why I've never seen Formula One. Bro, I don't know the next enjoy 5Gs of G-Force. And they've got their lucky break now. This is actually lucky, man. Their ideology is whoever comes into sport is warranted because they can look at Lance Stroll's Wikipedia page, Formula 3 champion. Formula 3, he deserves his. What do you criticize him for? Do you not see his pole position in Turkey in 2021? They don't look at the intricacies. They've got their lucky break now. The boy Leyland Norris from Millfield School in Bristol, one of the most expensive schools in the whole of Britain, and his dad, who's worth £250 million, pensions manager, and he paid $44 million for the Formula One seat.
Once.
$44 million US dollars for the Formula One seat. And they've got their lucky break. They got their boy in the seat. They got their boy in the car for the last 6 years. And he's only been able to curate a Formula One World Championship on his own merit for the last 3 races. What sort of sport has this turned into? What sort of sport? You need to question. What sport is this, man? What sport is this?
I have to interrupt. This stream is killing me. This guy's on 11 out of 10.
Alien magic? Oh my god!
Yeah, bro, this guy's on a Mark Goldbridge on steroids rant at the moment. Do everything. Liam and Tifosi are talking about aliens on this thing. King is going fishing. Ekman and I, it's 4 a.m. for both of us. It's just this stream is too funny. Literally. It's just killing me, man.
I think we'll close out here. Hit the like button.
Hey, by the way, if you were just like me and enjoying that from Renvier, go to his channel. That was Renvier. That was money, man.
Hey, facts,
Cheers,
bro.
bro.
Facts, bro. But Liam,
No.
bro.
I want to see a double McLaren DNF. I know what happened in the sprint race.
Dreaming.
Hope it's in the real race. And so
Keep dreaming. It's not gonna happen.
Liam, last thoughts before we go. Liam, from you, last thoughts.
All I'm gonna say is that a DSQ is not gonna happen. Sorry, Red Bull fans, it's not gonna happen.
Okay.
That's all I have to say.
Liam, we'll see you for the preview tomorrow, right?
Yeah, preview
I'll let
tomorrow.
you know. I'll keep you posted.
no, suddenly McLaren have a double DSQ and the next show he's on. Is that not fishy to you?
Yeah, exactly. He needs to come on every time, man.
I'm gonna bring the Adrian Newey conspiracy theorists on the show and question why is Liam on the show?
Anyways, guys, take care.
I'm
Just
not
go
gonna
on
use
to
profanity
Sports.
because his
See you
channel
later.
will get banned. But
Subscribe to
never
Prix
mind.
Links in the chat. Liam's channel is
And
in the
subscribe to African King Academy if you want more Ferrari Leclerc 8.
93.
Big up the boss of blue, big up to
Someday,
Tulsa,
Augustia will bring his channel back up.
big up Hugh, and big up Joshua.
Yep.
Subscribe to Payne in the Arsenal.
I'll do it. What am I doing?
We're gonna bring it back up very, very soon.
Perhaps, yes.
Big up. Everyone, take care. See you tomorrow.
See you around.
Like, share, subscribe. Good night. Peace.